Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'll be going over the latest patch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters to each topic are listed down below. First up, for those of you over on console, there appears to be an unannounced upgrade event active that has been running for the past couple of days. I don't know how long this is going to be up, but if you're looking to do some upgrades, then I'd recommend you take advantage sooner rather than later, because we don't know when this upgrade event is going to end over there. And for those of us on PC, from today, November 26th, up through December 3rd, there's going to be an Admiralty bonus week running. So if you're looking to farm some tour of duty missions or just farm up your Admiralty levels, then this would be a good time for you to do so. Next up, a new lore blog has dropped, and judging by some of the engagement that we're seeing for this on Twitter, it looks like it is from the folks over at Deca. So, for those of you interested in reading this to see where the story is progressing, I'll have this lore blog linked down below in the description and pinned comment. Next up, over on Blue Sky, Nick, also known as Tumor Boy, has posted some updates regarding the new ESD map. He has seen the feedback and made some changes that we will see on the triple test server at some point in the near future. These changes include making the Earth a bit bluer, there's better windows and lighting on ESD itself, there is some more dry docks spaced around the map for some better screenshotting purposes. And for those of you that missed the McKinley Station, which was previously over Alaska, obviously with the size of the map, they couldn't make it still be over Alaska, but they have put it at the very edge of the map so that you can still get some pictures with it. And there's no info yet on when this is going to drop on the live server and over on console, but my guess would be with the 15th anniversary event next year. And next up, former community manager Kael announced yesterday that one of his final acts is a giveaway that he has been pushing for a long time internally. And that giveaway, it's pretty crazy. So let's take a look at this giveaway announcement. And of note here, it is posted by someone we have never seen post before, CM Lufflick. So I'm assuming that's our new community manager. And the giveaway here is for the gold plated Ferengi Decora. Then we have some outfit boxes. So I'm going to be looking at the items one by one here in a moment. But it is very important to note that this giveaway is only available for a limited time. For PC players, the giveaway starts today, November 26th, and runs up through December 10th. For console players, it starts on December 3rd and runs up through December 17th. So we have 2 weeks to claim this. But even with that limited window, I am glad to finally see this ship return, and to return in a format where everyone actually has access to it. This ship has been very controversial throughout the game's life because this gold Ferengi ship was actually given out several years ago at random to a very small group of players, and we never knew what the exact criteria was to receive it, but it was extremely controversial when it dropped. So having it here, even for a limited time, accessible to every single player in the game, that is really great to see. Now to claim this, it will be in the promotions tab of the Zen store, and there is also some additional outfits that they're going to be giving away with this. So let's take a look at the outfits first, and then we'll do a full stats breakdown on the ship. And for the costume giveaways, there is the Entrepreneur outfits, the Merchants outfits, and then the Ferenginar Liquidators baseball uniforms. So these have been in the game before, I believe, for most of these, so they're free if you didn't already have them unlocked. And heading over to the stats of this gold Decora, of note, it does also come with the Decora interior, so that is the one that has an exchange, mail, and bank on it, and also your own Dabo table. And heading over to the stats, this has a hull modifier of 1.35, shield mod of 1.15. It has a 5-3 weapon setup, 4 device slots. We'll go over the bridge officers in a moment. Console-wise, 4 attack, 4 engine, 3 psi. Turn rate of 9, impulse of 0.15, inertia of 50. So maneuverability, it's going to be about average for what you'd see from a cruiser or battlecruiser. For the power buffs, +5 to each subsystem, and it does have the ability to run dual cannons and dual heavies, given it is a battlecruiser. For the cruiser commands, it has access to all but the threat one, so this is not going to be the best tanking platform. And it has the Starship Battlecruiser Mastery Package. And for the bridge officer setup, this has a commander engineer with command, and this is an upgrade over how the ship initially was. Initially, it did not have a commander spec seat, so as part of this giveaway, they're also updating the stats of the ship. It has a lieutenant commander tack with intel, a lieutenant engineer, lieutenant science, and lieutenant universal. So by modern build standards, this is still going to be a very capable platform, but you are going to find some parts of it a little bit restrictive in the current state, especially this lieutenant engineer seat. That is going to be a bit too much engineering for most people, and you're also not going to have a second lieutenant commander, which means you have to pick between Scatter Volley 2, Beam Overload 3, whatever firing mode you're trying to do in that lieutenant commander seat on the TAC. You have to pick that over an OSS 3. So there are some limitations with how this is set up. You're not going to be able to put a ton of uncons on it, but it is still going to be extremely capable. And for the comparison, this is basically just a weaker version of the legendary Bortesque that we got last year. And, for a free ship, that's pretty damn good, to be honest. There are certainly some things to be critical about with this bridge officer layout, but at the end of the day, the Nagus is a free ship, so this is going to be a very good platform for someone just getting into the game. That really is a very good layout on the Nagus, and sure that there is room for improvement with other platforms, but for a free ship, that is truly a very, very good combo. Command Intel is one of the highest performing combos for a ship in the game, and seeing it on a free ship that we're getting here, again, that is just really crazy to see. And as for what builds are going to work on this thing, an energy weapon build, so beams or cannons, that'll work fine. A torp build would work fine on it, and while it's not perfect for tanking, it doesn't have that attract fire cruiser command, it could still do a reasonably good tank build for going in and just doing pug content. So, again, for a free ship, this is a pretty capable platform. For the Admiralty card, that is 57 inch, 27 psi, and 42 tack, and the special is ignores plus or minus inch from events. And the servers have just come up, so I can show you the console and trait in game. And again, to claim this, it is in the promotions tab of the Zen store, and it is listed as the Grand Nagus giveaway. Just claim that, and you'll get a box in your inventory, and upon opening it, you get the account unlock for the Ferengi Nagus Marauder, so that's good to see. You've got all those costume boxes that they're giving away here, and of course the Marauder itself. Now, I'm curious to see if this ship shows up in the promotions tab here. So, okay, it does show up under, for the reclaim on your other characters, it will show up in the promotions tab as well as a reclaim. The Starship Trait is Streak Breaker, and when you miss your foe, this trait will activate and give you a Streak Breaker counter for 60 seconds. At 5 stacks, you're going to get plus 20 accuracy rating for 15 seconds, plus 50% crit severity, and plus 10% crit chance. And then you'll not have the ability to gain any more counters for another 30 seconds afterwards. If you are a mid-range to high-end player and you're doing PvE, you don't miss. So this trait will not have relevance for most of you watching this video. But if you're a brand new player, you don't have a lot of these accuracy buffs that people have, you might see some benefit from this when you're just starting out, but this is very much a trait that will quickly fall off in value as you get to a mid-range level. So it's nice to have, especially on a free ship here, but chances most of you will not benefit from putting this trait on. And for the console, this is the Battle Module 4000. Passives are plus 2% crit chance and plus 10 accuracy. And it has a few different clickies associated to it, but keep in mind these clickies are based on the original Decora console from the very early days of the game, so they're not particularly powerful. You have the EMP Burst, which is a debuff for foes behind you. It will reduce their max energy to 30 for around 10 seconds, reduces their power transfer rate, and prevents their use of batteries. This used to be really annoying in PvP, but nowadays PvP players generally have enough counters, and in PvE, there may still be some interesting situations with it. This also has a battle mode functionality, which I'll show in a moment, and it also has swarm missiles, and if you have things like temporal specialization active, it's going to list a bunch of other unrelated things there. But this is just the 16,000 kinetic damage times 8 that you see, so not particularly powerful. And here is the battle mode in action. So neat transformation effect there. So when you go into battle mode, it's going to give you plus 30 to starship energy and projectile weapon training. It's going to give you a turn rate buff, some extra weapon power and engine power, but it is going to take some aux power away. And it's also going to disable the defensive mode, which means you can't use the EMP anymore. But when you're in the battle mode, you can use the swarm missiles. And for the defensive mode, that is giving you some hull plating and armor reinforcement skill, so some resistances, and again, access to that EMP burst ability. And as part of the giveaway here and the changes they did to the ship, you can swap between the modes a bit faster. And I'll show you the EMP burst that you get to do while you're in defensive. So, pretty neat effect there. And again, you can swap between the offensive battle mode and then the defensive mode on the fly much faster now. And over on the blog, they do have a full list of all the changes they made to the Nagus alongside this giveaway. So obviously there was the command spec sheet added, the console, the time to swap between the defensive and offensive modes was moved from 20 seconds all the way down to 5. They increased the critical chance received with the passive. The swarm missiles had their targeting arc increased from 90 to 135, and the amount of damage per missile was increased. For the Starship Trait, the defensive buff it had was changed over to that critical severity buff with the plus 50 crit severity, and they reduced the lockout to 30 seconds. Overall, I am really impressed that they actually brought the gold Nagus back and are giving it away to everyone. This was a very controversial ship, as I mentioned before, given how they initially released it into the game. So I think this is a very, very nice goodwill gesture on their part to make it accessible to everyone. And to Kael, who pushed to make this happen, thank you for going in and dealing with this issue once and for all, because this was something that really upset a lot of people back in the day. And this going out and being given away to everyone, that is a really big deal. So, thank you for that. And that's going to be it for today. Let me know down below what you guys plan to do with your gold Nagus. And of course, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.